All right, Hannah, number 19, find an equation of the line passing through the pair of points in point slope, then write in standard form. Alrighty, so I'm gonna erase this shortly, make sure you've got it down or you've got it pulled up, but we notice here that they just give us the points. They do not give us the slope, but they want it in point slope form, okay? So, as I mentioned, I'm gonna erase this so that we have some room to work. I don't actually have my eraser with me today at all. Alright, and I'm just going to recopy that at the top, okay? So they give us -5, 6, -9, and 9. Alrighty. Now to find the slope, my trick, as you should remember, hopefully you do, and I already know with you, Hannah, that you have a little trouble remembering x, y, or x1, x2, y1, y2, blah, 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 okay? But all you ever really have to do is look at your points and know that x is first, y is second. X is first, y is second. Thus, this would be x1 right here. This right here would be x2. This would be y1, and this would be y2. I'm still going to label them for you because I know you like to do that. Okay, so we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Now, Hannah, when you are looking for your slope, the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This will give you the rise over the run, okay, which is slope, right? That's what we're looking for. So let's take y2. It's -9 minus y1, we have 6, over x2, which is -9, minus x1, which is -5. You might want to get into the habit of putting that -5, or subtracting it, putting that -5 into parentheses, however you like to say it, potato. Okay, so I already want to jump ahead and show you my little trick, of course, but -9 minus 6, same signs, add and keep, all right, so we will add those and keep the sign. They're the same sign, we're going to add and keep. 9 plus 6 is 15. We're keeping the sign negative, all right? So then now let's do my little trick. When you have a negative minus a negative here in parentheses, and you can kind of visualize it. You see how you could see a cross? All right, well, let's make it a cross. Well, that now makes that a +5, all right? So we have -9 plus 5, plus +5, however you want to say it. But we now know that our signs are different. We have a negative and a positive, so different signs subtract. Take the number of the larger sign, then the larger number, then you'll be exact. All right. So we're going to subtract. We know that, and we're going to take the sign of the larger number. Okay, which is 9. 9's larger than 5, and it's got a negative. So we know that this is -2. So 9 minus 5, yes, is 4. All right. Well, we have a negative and a negative here in a fraction, even though it's a rise over run slope. So we're just gonna, when you have two negatives, it's a positive, right? All right, so 15/4. We now have a positive slope, positive rise, positive run. All right, but we have figured out our slope. Woohoo! That's our slope. That's m when we go plug it in to find point slope form. All right, so now when we plug it in, what's our formula? And I want you to think of this. What is our formula to find point slope form? All right, it is, think about it, make sure you've got it down before I've got it down. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, when we plug in now y1 and x1 and m, let's see what we got. Y equals y1, which is 6, equals m. We made m over here. We figured that out. 15/4. That's positive, right? Yep. I'm just making sure. All right. X minus x1. What's x1? Negative 5. Minus negative 5. All right? Or plus 5 with my trick. Plus 5. All right? So, make sure you have this down. I'm going to start erasing, and I'm going to push this stuff up so we can work this out because they want it in standard form. This is point slope form. Okay? Let me clarify. This is point slope. This is your slope. Okay? So make sure you've got that down in your notes. Okay? So I am going to erase. Go back to make sure you've got that if you don't. And unfortunately, I do not have a photographic memory, so I have to leave this while I copy it above so that we can give it to you or give it to them in standard form, because this is not standard form. This is point slope form. Equals 6. Oh, I meant to do times right here. No. This is supposed to be subtract. Sorry. Fix that in your notes, please. Okay. Equals 15/4 times x plus 5. Right, Hannah? Plus 5. Ooh, that's funky. Or as you like to say, that's gross. All right. That's still gross, but it's all right. Let me make sure you can see that good. Yeah, you can. Okay. So now they want it in standard form. All right. Well, we will give it to them in standard form. Okay? All right. So I taught you this yesterday. Hopefully you remember it. Let me switch colors here. What is the first thing we want to do? We don't like fractions. No one likes fractions. We want to get rid of those fractions. Okay, as soon as you see this, you say, ugh, don't like fractions. We've got to get rid of them. All right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? Think about it. All right? We use the denominator to multiply. All right? Now, technically, when they're writing it, or, you know, mathematicians, math teachers, whatever, they will use these brackets, and they will say that the whole, they will say that the whole equation is supposed to be multiplied by that denominator of 4, okay? But you will see when we work it out, we basically only distribute it to the y, the 6, and that's pretty much it, and we get rid of the 4, okay? So when you distribute this, this is now 4y minus 6 times 4. We use minus because we're just bringing our sign down, okay? And because this is a positive, this is a negative, it's going to stay a negative, all right? So 6 times 4 is 24 equals. Now, like I said, it's only going to distribute here, here, and get rid of this, okay? So watch this. This 15 stays the same, and we can't do anything to parentheses in, these are called brackets, but you can't do anything to parentheses in parentheses, okay? So 15 stays there. We just got rid of this, okay, because that just cancels out like that. Boom. All right? So times stays the same, 15 plus 5, okay? So think about that, please. Think about it. We only distributed here, 4y, distributed here, negative 24, kept the 15, but we got rid of the denominator. That's what multiplying it does, okay? And then you cannot do anything to parentheses and parentheses. Had to repeat it all one more time, okay? Now you should look at this and look at both sides, okay? This is as simplest as this side can get right now because it's a y and a constant, so it's a variable and a constant. Now over here, this can be what? Distributed. So let's distribute it, but let's first bring this down so that we can just make sure we're doing good math and we're keeping up neatly, okay? So 15 times x is 15x. Now you had to tell me this yesterday, but 15 times 5 is 75. See, I'm quick with it now, huh? All right. So now we want to, in a sense, combine like terms. Okay, well this is y, so we don't have anything else with a y in here. This is 15, nothing else in here. Oh, this is x, sorry, 15x, but nothing else in here has an x. So we want to combine like terms in the sense that Well, this is 24, or negative 24, and this is 75, and they don't have a y or an x or a c or blah, 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 blah. Okay, so those are like. So how do we combine them? Well, it's easiest to stop working with negatives, really, by adding 24 to both. Okay, now you can kind of do a little line, whatever you want to do, but let's bring down that 4y before we forget about it, okay? Equals now this turned to 0, 15x plus, let's see, we've got 9, 9, 99. Okay, this is still not in standard form because standard form is what? Let me write it in a different color. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Okay, that's what we're trying to get to. That is not what we have, all right? So we got to keep going. How can we get x to be first? It's right here. Well, we can subtract it from the beginning, right? So 15x, we will subtract, and subtract it also from the beginning. Okay, so now we have negative 15x plus, because obviously if there's no sign in front of it, it's plus, it's positive, plus 4y equals positive 99, equals 99. All right, what did I tell you yesterday? What is wrong here? What's going on? We can't have this like this, correct? No. All right, x cannot be negative in standard form. X cannot be negative, so we have to change that. Now think about what I told you, think about how I told you to change that. All right, we have to multiply the whole equation by negative 1, okay? By negative 1. And when we do that, a negative times a negative is a positive. So now we have positive 15, don't we? 15x. Now what's a negative 1 times positive 4? That's negative 4. Negative 4y equals negative 1 times positive 99. That's negative 99. All right? We have got x positive. Y doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Neither does c, as long as x is positive and not negative. This is in standard form. All right? Good job, Hannah.